Tito!
Hi,
Tito! How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And what am I saying? Meet you. It's lovely to see you. Would you like to introduce yourself to people who are watching or who are going to watch later on?
Well, hi everyone. My name is Tito and I attended Technics Academy a few years ago. So yeah.
Tito, tell us about what you're currently doing. And you asked me, you said, Auntie, is there anything I need to get ready? I intentionally didn't want that because I wanted to find out what you're up to as well on the call. I wanted it to, I want to enjoy this as well. I didn't just want to, repeat information. So if you tell us about what you're currently up to.
Well, I'm just about to start next week my second year of university at Glasgow Uni and I study aeronautical engineering.
Wow, that literally, I've got goosebumps from you saying that. How did you get to that point? How did you know that's what I want to study? That's what my interest is. And for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about what aeronautical engineering is all about.
Well, aeronautical, a lot of people think it has something to do with like water and submarines, but it's quite the opposite. It's to do with planes and like making and designing planes. And I've always like loved maths. I was pretty good at maths. So like I thought this job has a good career prospect and it's something I'm interested in as well because I learn a lot about space as well, which I'm also very interested about because my course does come under the course of aerospace engineering. Aeronautical is a branch of aerospace engineering. So I do learn a lot about space. So I did quite enjoy that. And I didn't want to do something just like maths because I wanted to not necessarily get bored, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain it. So I wanted to, so at least this, I'll be doing maths while learning something new about the world. So yeah.
Oh, that's wow, that's amazing. So can you pinpoint when you knew that's what you wanted to do? Because we're doing this for kids who are probably in second, third year of secondary school. They have no idea what they want to do. They don't know what they're planning to study at university. At what point did you know, do you know what, this is really what I want to do? And what steps did you take to get there?
Okay, truthfully, honestly, it did quite come later on for me. So I would say in my fifth year of high school, that would be like my second last year of high school. That's when I did like look into engineering. And I just thought, like, for the steps for that, I had to crash, like, I don't know, like, I had to like crash certain subjects I've never done before, including physics. So I had to crash physics, which was quite challenging, but was worth the steps. Like even at times you may feel like, oh, I've left things too late. There's still always going to be options for you. So I feel like that's the advice for people. Like, don't think you've left things too late. You still have plenty of time, plenty of opportunities to achieve what you want to achieve.
Amazing, amazing. You did mention that you were a student of Tecnis Academy. So we got to blow that up. We have an aeronautical engineer in the room, and she is an alumni of Tecnis Academy. What impacts did tutoring have on this journey of yours, in terms of your education?
Well, I really enjoyed my time at Technics Academy. It was like a really like welcoming space. Even though I was from lived in Scotland, it was a really welcoming space, and all like the teachers and lecturers I had, they made me feel welcome and they helped me with anything I was stuck on. Because I feel like a lot of the times, even for me, I get nervous going things in person, but I feel like this was like easier as if I was on Zoom. So I found that I was more comfortable doing it there. And like all the teachers there were so welcome and helped me with help with. So it was a really, really good time.
Amazing. And this was how many years ago?
Oh, maybe 4 years ago.
Years ago. In
Yeah.
fact, you were one of the few students we started with tutoring from Scotland, and you were one of the students that made us have a you turn around in terms of creating a Scottish curriculum? Because you brought to light a lot of things like, oh, that's we're not doing it the same way in Scotland, and we wanted to delve more, we wanted to understand. So for that, I want to say thank you for enlightening us and for helping us to understand there are students out there in Scotland who need our support, but they needed us to understand more what their curriculum is all about. You just mentioned now that it was your second to last year in secondary school that you had to pick up physics. Is that right?
Well, yeah, my second to last year is when I thought about picking physics, but I didn't choose it until my last year of high school. That's when I had to crash it.
Wow, because that's completely different for English students. They have no choice in terms of studying physics, chemistry, and biology. Their core subjects like maths and English. So can you shed a little bit more light to in terms of how you pick subjects in Scotland?
I would say it's quite different because I didn't know that, but at least in my school that I went to, you get to choose your subjects from second year on, like second year of high school onwards. But in my school, certain subjects were mandatory, like including like maths, English, and then you had to take a science. I know some schools are like that in Scotland, but my school was very like adamant on the amount of subjects you do and like the amount of like sciences or like social sciences you do. So in my school, at least I personally did two sciences. I did chemistry and biology all throughout high school, and I did one social subject that was geography, and my language was Spanish because you had to do language as well. And then it wasn't until my sixth year of high school, my final year of high school, that I
Which is
did
the S6, right?
S6, yeah. I don't know if that's equivalent to year 13. I'm not too sure. I don't know
That
the equivalence.
that would be equivalent to most likely year 11 going into 12. Uh,
Okay. That I was 17, 18.
all right, yeah, so that's definitely year 12 going into 13.
Okay. And then I was doing advanced I don't know what the equivalent again, but I was doing advanced higher chemistry, advanced higher biology, and I crashed physics then.
Amazing. Now, in terms of you going into university, what is the um, route into getting into university? So in England, you need to finish your secondary school education. So first year of secondary school is called year seven here. In Scotland, it's called S1. In England, you go from year seven all the way to year 11 and you write your GCSEs, which I believe would be equivalent to your Nat 5, right? At that point, the child would be around this age 16. And after the GCSEs, the student then has a choice of going to a college for 2 years until they're 18 or going to a sixth form until they're 18. So they need those extra 2 years after GCSEs. They need that to be then able to get into university and where they can study for three subjects in detail. So can you tell us what the route is to get into university um, on the Scottish way?
Yeah, of course. I do believe that is somewhat different, at least in Scotland. Again, when you're 16, that would be around S4. You are allowed to leave school, but and do college, and you can do university at 17 years old onwards. But most people in Scotland don't. Most people do stay until sixth year, and then that's when you go into university afterwards.
Right. So S4, you get to S4 around age 16. You have the option of going into college, probably doing a more vocational subject. Is that what you're saying? Or
Yes.
stay still in that school until S6.
Mhm.
And so by S4, would you be given the opportunity to write your Nat 5 in S4 or is it in S5?
S4, you would have written back your Nat fives. It's S3 and S4. That's when you study for your Nat fives, and then finally in S4, that's when you sit your Nat fives.
Right. And then when you get into S5 and S6, is there another major exam that you need to do after that?
Yes, so in S5, that is when you set your hires, and a lot more people do tend to leave high school after your hires, but most people do stay on until sixth year. That's when you sit. Some people do advanced higher subjects, but then some people don't. It just depends on what course you want to study after that.
Right,
But at
amazing.
least one pair, everyone does at least one advanced higher
Right,
in
okay. Everyone does
A6.
in S6, and that would
Yes.
hopefully get you into university, right?
Mhm.
So the course you're doing right now, how many years would you then spend in a Scottish university?
So in my course, it'll be 4 years, but hopefully five if I do my master's.
Okay, that's great. And do you plan on doing any internship along the way?
Yes, definitely. I feel like when you do a course like mine, I feel like doing some sort of like internship or some sort of practical thing would really boost you up or help you. But it's quite challenging trying to find internships because even in my last summer, I did try looking for some, but I feel like I am quite young, so they didn't really want someone quite young. So I think a lot of them said they wanted third year university students. So think again in third year, I'll try again applying for more.
100%. Don't give up because it'll be their benefit to have you on board because I know how hardworking, how diligent and committed you are. Little bit of when I was at university, my course was actually a 3-year course, and I was so eager to finish and graduate. Whereas some of my friends who were also doing a degree with me, some of them, when we got to the second year, they checked out of university to do an internship for 1 year, and then they had to come back to do their final year, which made their course a 4 year. I literally looked down on them at the time, like, oh, I'm not staying for 4 years at university. But guess what? They were the ones who got the best jobs when they got out because they dedicated that 1 year before graduating to get a job. So if you can get an internship, it'll definitely go a long way, a long way. Now, what advice would you give your younger self, looking back to how far you've come? You are doing extremely well, but what sort of advice would you still give to your younger self if that person was sat right in front of you right now?
Honestly, I would say my biggest piece of advice was to just not doubt myself and also stick to what I'm good at in a sense of I need to find a good balance because I don't know, I think it was a young fascination in my head. I wanted to do veterinary for quite a while, but I wanted to do it. I didn't really, I don't have a certain idea why I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it for such a long time. But then I think it came to like the fourth or fifth year, then I chose to like broaden my horizons, broaden my options, because I was so fixated on a certain thing. And I thought I do enjoy this subject, and I am quite good at it. I would say better even at the others at that at maths. So. I chose to broaden my horizons and choose something else because I feel like a lot of people would just play it safe. But I would say my biggest piece of advice also not to play it safe and take
Mm.
risks if you have to.
Take risk, broaden your horizon, be open and not just fixated on one thing. Amazing. What advice would you give parents? And you might also include here the impact your parents have had in your education, in your decision making, in terms of getting you to where you're at now. So if there are parents watching right now, especially parents based in Scotland, Scottish parents who are wanting something similar for their child. They're wanting their child to be successful in the academics and then go on to study at university and hopefully get a good career that, they can enjoy and can also basically feed them. So what advice would you give to parents and also shed some light on what impacts your parents have had in terms of you getting to where you're at right now?
I would say, especially to parents, just try and be open to decisions for options that your child may have. And I would say my parents were quite supportive because though I was quite fixated on one thing, they were very open to me considering a completely different thing because it was very different to what I had in mind before. And they helped me achieve the steps I needed to because I was bouncing ideas for a while. I didn't think I mentioned before, but I also considered podiatry for a while, which is honestly a
Wow.
very different career as well. But they also helped me. They helped me gain information about it, and they also helped me gain shadowing experience as well at our local podiatrist because podiatry is a very cool like job, and it is very the jobs are very stable. There's plenty jobs. And it's very broad as well because one thing I was also interested in that field is stuff to do with prosthetics and helping people with sports injuries because I did quite like athletics when I was younger. So I thought that was interesting as well. So my parents were very supportive in that and helping me gain the experience I needed to learn more about the career before I made a decision.
Amazing, amazing. This is fantastic. I'm not going to hold you back for too long because I know you mentioned you're going to work. My next question is, how do you balance it all? You're at university doing a big major course, and you're also working, you're lovable, you're kind, you're respectful. How do you balance it all? What is it? What is the secret, Tito?
Honestly, I don't think there is much of a secret. I just try and take it one day at a time, honestly, because my career is like quite full on. I am at uni every day, and at least 9 to 5, 9 to 6 sometimes, but just take each time, each day, a step at a time, and just breathe, honestly. Even take a break for a sec if you're struggling. Then sometimes your mind just blanks, but if you just need a second just to breathe and just think, that's completely fine. Don't feel like the world is out to get you because that's how it may feel a lot of times. But just remember, you've got people that trying to help you and support you. So especially your family, your friends and family. So just remember you're not alone, even when you may be thinking that you might be.
That literally almost got me emotional. You're not alone. You got your family, you got your friends, you got your people, you got people who care about you around you. So we talked about if the kind of advice you'd give Tito, the younger Tito. So we're looking now into the next 5, 10 years. Where do we see the slightly older Tito? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are you hoping to get? Out of your young adult life, what kind of job are you hoping to secure? If we look back on this video, 10 years from now, what is it you'd like to be saying to your older self?
Oh wow, I'm not too sure. I would like to see myself successful, enjoying life and a career that I enjoy. Maybe something to do with renewable power, renewable energy and making planes because I've always thought that would be quite interesting. So I would hopefully like to also be traveling the world because I feel like that this type of job you does bring opportunities to travel a lot. So hopefully I'm just enjoying my life. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And that's the most important thing, enjoying your life, enjoying what you're doing. Listen, Tito, I'm super proud of you. And so is everyone at Tecnis Academy. Keep being beautiful, keep being happy, keep being successful. And obviously, I am here when you need me. I am overdue a visit to Glasgow. I need to come and see you guys soon. And
Yes.
yeah, definitely. I'd love to come and vice versa. If you ever come this way, come England, you know where you can come to. You come and stay, spend the night with me and Michelle. So, all right. Thank you so much for your time today. And I hope you have a lovely day at work. And any last words from you before we go?
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I encourage everyone who is watching this live. I'm advising you to join Technics Academy because you will not regret it, and everyone there is so welcoming, so kind, so you will not regret your time there.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Tito. Love you so
Thank
much.
you
Take
so much for
care.
having me.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
one. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.